Welcome everyone to Ask Hypnotica 24. One more away from 25, which means we're a quarter away to 100 Ask Hypnoticas. That is cool. It was fun to do, and I'm learning a lot about you guys out there, and I am interested because there's just not a lot of guys, I guess, willing to give advice like this. I am. So I'm here for you guys. Here we go. Let's get into it. This is from Alex from Belarus. Have no idea where Belarus is. I think that way, maybe. Just keep going, and eventually you'll find it. Anyways, I read your book Meta Horror and was a fun, insightful read, and somehow autobiographical. You are an interesting writer and person. The question will not be about pickup or other BS. I even don't know why I'm writing to a successful guy who has tons of messages like this every day, but I'll vent at least and maybe you can call me on my BS. Well, let's start on calling you on your BS right now. First of all, there's a little bit of victimhood in there. Like, I don't know why I'm writing you. You're a successful guy. You know exactly why you're writing me, because you want answers and you're willing to do what it takes. So come on, let's man up a little bit. Let's not play the victim blame game here, all right? If you are going to claim your existence and your experience here on Earth, men go for what they want and they do what it takes to get there, and that means sometimes writing people or asking for interviews or knocking on doors or walking up to women. You listen, you want what you want and you're going after it, so you're doing good, all right? Just cut the victim shit out, all right? Now, the changes in the past few years, from being quite skinny, nerd gamer in school to I exercise, don't drink, smoke, I attend boxing, I let go of pornography, I don't masturbate in a year. Doing better than I am on that one anyways. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because, I happen to like my own self-pleasure sometimes. Anyways, but hey, whatever, it's in your hands now. All right, anyways, I learned English, graduated college. The year was boring. I didn't party or date. Got a job, low-paid job, although money is the last thing I'm interested in. Okay, listen, let's get this one straight, all right? Money is an important aspect of who you are, all right? It's a means by which you can attain your goal, your dream faster. Money is absolutely important, so let's not say you're not interested. Let's just say you're absolutely interested in and integrating it in such a way that you absolutely are living on a higher level, aligned with your vision, your purpose, and money will come to you because it's important. All right. Bottom line, it's important. You can do a lot with it. So let's start thinking positive about money, because it all ties in together. I don't know too many successful people that don't have money and can live abundantly. You can do a lot more things with money. You can materialize things like that. Matter of fact, my belief is money is the closest thing to God that there is, because if I'm like thinking, okay, I'm going to materialize a vase, and I sit there and I go, okay, let me materialize and think about it. I can sit there for a long ass time and not get anything, all right? But if I have money, I can go buy a vase, materialize it. So let's shift that money thought a little bit, and let's deserve it, okay? Because everyone out there does deserve money if they work for it and they find things that they're good at. And even if they're not good at it, you can still make money and do other things because, like I said, it's important. Anyways. Now, I'm fit, good-looking, almost 22 years old guy, and thought I'd get tons of girls. But no, I would exchange the looks on the ability to truly relate to people and be interesting. All right, there's another little trick you just gave me. Be interesting. Listen, I say it over and over. If you want to make friends, if you want to meet people, you have to be interested in them, which means you get to get out of your head and get into other people's worlds, all right? You know your own head, all right? You've been there all your life, and if you're sitting there having conversation with you and spending time with just yourself, all right, that can get a little boring for the most part, because you're not stretching. You're not learning about other people. You're not learning about things that are bigger all around you, okay? You're in there with your head. Take a vacation from yourself, okay? If you sat there and had some girl hanging out with you all the time, you'd want a little break too. Well, this is what you're doing to yourself. You're sitting there and you're not communicating with people, and you're just living your life with you. You don't really know much about life, okay? You get to learn about people. It's a fascinating thing. So think to yourself, instead of looking and trying to be interesting, be interested, okay? And genuinely interested. Like, get really curious. That's the number one thing that humans have going for us, and sometimes it goes against us, but curiosity. All right, we had curiosity as a kid when we were a little baby or whatever. We're looking around at the world, okay? Get to look at like that at other people. Just wonder what makes them tick. Like, enjoy other people. It's a good thing, okay? So my regular day is work, gym, books, walk, sleep, and I have no idea how I can make it more interesting. Now I'm saving money to travel for the first time somewhere and attend university, all right? Traveling is huge when it comes to expanding your world and seeing what else is out there, how other people live, other cultures. It's the tolerance that, people should feel, and the acceptance of other people's ideas, and just to see how other people live. So that's a good move that you're doing that. All right. My mom was always saying I'm such a good looking. Moms say that kind of shit. Okay. I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I'm maybe ruggedly brutish, maybe. Anyways, my mom thinks I'm good looking, unless she's just lying to me. All right. She said you're going to find your girlfriend like most moms do. What the F? All right. I'm going to cut back on my cussing just a little bit. Okay. It's one of my goals, but I doubt it will happen. All right. The people in my age date, they hook up on the left and on the right, and I'm feeling myself cheated. There's another one of those little victim things, cheated, okay? Life doesn't cheat you, okay? You cheat yourself from going out there and expanding your world and putting out the effort to do that. So let's cut that blaming verbiage out of there. It's not a good thing, all right? I don't blame her, but it sucks to live without a father. There's another one of those blaming things. Listen, dude, lots of people have lived without a father. You have the internet, which is awesome because now you can learn from other men and get advice, okay? There was a time back before the internet that all you had is the people that were close to you, all right? And if you didn't have a good role model there, you're screwed. At least now on the internet, you could reach out, and there's tons of really, really on-point guys that are going to give you good advice. So let's cut out that blame shit again, all right? Blah, blah, blah. All right? I pay attention to other men like you, good mentor. I don't want to say I'm a good mentor. I'd just say I'm very honest, and I have a lot of experience with a lot of things. Good mentor? It's kind of pushing it there a little bit. But you know what? I am honest. All right, I'll act like them, but I still see little difference in me. And I feel myself so immature and irresponsible. Now, with that sense right there, I'm guaranteeing that you probably still live with your mom. All right? And it's not a bad thing. Listen, I mean, times are tough and it's okay to do that. However, it makes me wonder, like, are you doing your own part? Like, are you really kicking ass? Like, are you helping your mom? Are you doing stuff like helping her do dishes? Are you helping her with laundry? Are you going out there and mowing the lawn or fixing the fence and doing stuff that men should do? All right, are you pulling your part? Because if not, you're going to get caught into that cycle of it's kind of a distraction where you're out there and you're looking for how to improve yourself, but you're not willing to do the work that it takes to really improve yourself. The ultimate way to improve yourself is by helping others and being useful, of service, okay? That's what people get locked into. They get tricked where they're like, I got to improve. But, they're only focusing on their self. And when they're only focusing on themselves, it's a very selfish thing to do. To really get good and confident at the highest level, not only do you learn what's important to you, but you learn to transcend yourself and help others, and that's where the real gifts lie. So I want you to understand that as well. Also, the problem is not meeting people. They're everywhere. But to converse with them, I'm more introverted but crave social interaction as normal people do, whether it's a girl or guy, but I struggle to keep it fun and interesting. Let me talk a little bit more about this, okay? Interested. Think that. There's a guy named Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham is a master marketer. He's like the go-to of go-to marketers. And he was telling a story on one of his programs. And he was talking about he was traveling and he decided he couldn't sleep. So he went down to the bar and he got himself like a drink. He was sitting at the bar and he just wanted to chill out a little bit. And this guy came up and sat next to him. And the guy was just drinking. And so they kind of struck up a conversation. Well, an hour and a half later, Jay realized that this guy was some big CEO, very, very powerful. And when the guy got up to leave, he looked at Jay and he said, you know what? You're one of the most interesting men that I've met probably in the last 10 years. And he walked off and they exchanged numbers and I guess they became friends. But Jay then was saying, you know what? The interesting thing about that statement was all I said was probably maybe 1 minute's worth of stuff. Just a few different words, just asking him questions and the guy talked. Okay. That's what it's like. When you become curious in other people, people like to vent. They like to talk about themselves. And I'm not saying this from a manipulative point of view, but, get interested because you can always ask questions. You can ask questions about anyone. If you're just sitting there, just say, hey, what do you like to do, man? And they say, oh, I like to do music. Well, what is it about music that you really enjoy? Or what kind of music do you like? And get interested and actually get out of yourself because, like I said earlier, you're always hanging out with yourself. So get out of thinking about yourself and actually concentrate on other people. It's a huge step mentally, and it gets you out of the selfish mode. And so I just thought you'd think that might be an interesting story because the more you genuinely get interested in other people and you get out of the selfish mode and you grow up, all right, you're going to learn a lot. Okay, but it takes a little bit of effort to do that. my regular day is work, gym, books, walks, sleep. I have no idea how I can make it more interesting. We just talked about. Right. Now, I'm saving money to travel for the first somewhere and attend a university. I'm feeling down, confused, and have no motivation to move forward in life because I have no meaningful relationship with anyone. I even care less about parents. Listen, man, I believe personally that the ages from 16 to, for me, roughly it was like 25 were rough years. If God said, hey, you want to go back and live those years? No, not at all. All right, because you're moving from boyhood, okay, to adolescent into manhood. And it's very rare for a person to know exactly what he wants to do. All right, your job in this area or this way that you're heading right now is to educate yourself, is to learn about how to be better with people. It's going to learn social skills, and you don't learn social skills unless you go out there and you actually interact with people and you really put in to work this. Okay, very few people just go out there and are just naturally talented. All right, you got to learn things, you got to ask things, you got to ask advice, you got to get advice, and like I said, you have the internet, so it's a very cool thing to do. It's okay. I've felt down plenty of times, and lots of people I know feel down when you don't really have a clear idea of what it is. However, you keep on educating yourself and you do things that you enjoy, okay? With this technology and the things that are going on today, you know, if you fully believe in your mind that you're going to attain that, you have what I call faith that things are going to get better, and you have that belief, and you continually move forward in a powerful, positive, and consistent way, doors will start to be generated for you. Right? And you either generate them or they become apparent, or other people see your work ethic and they're like, you know what, I'd like to work this kid. You know, it goes the extra mile. You go the extra mile and you're going to make opportunities for yourself. So I want you to understand it. There's some days where I feel outgoing and fun, but it's rare and I can't always be happy and be a party everywhere I go. Here's something I tell guys. When you have those days when you're feeling outgoing and you're feeling fun and your energy's up, there's keys and there's clues that you're leaving. Figure out for yourself what happened. What allowed that to happen? Was it that you got a good night's sleep? Was it that you woke up and you exercised? Was it that you drank enough water? Was it that you ate good? Was it that you did a green drink? There's always clues and a trail that leads to these type of things. So think about it. Like really go, okay, the last time I felt really good, this is what was going on. See if you can replicate that. Okay, a lot of people don't think like this, but if you think like that and you're like, wow, there's a idea there, and there's a set of exercises or there's a set of behaviors that I did that allowed me to feel this, then you know what, you replicate them and you know what, you probably will feel good more often. I'm not saying that's the way, but I'm saying this is something that you might want to look at. Okay. I have no clue what I want in life. I'm not sure whether I want a relationship, but I'd like to have some female friends and not just to have sex. Don't lie to yourself. You want the sex, okay? The sex goes with it. All right. But at least get to know what it's like to kiss a girl. This is the point, man. All right. This is your opportunity to step through the gates from boyhood to manhood, all right? And you got to put yourself in the spot. What I noticed you didn't put is, you go to the gym, you're working out, walk, you sleep. I don't hear any social stuff in there, all right? And you're not going to have or meet other people unless you become social or get involved in social events. And I don't care if that's going to a yoga class. I don't care if it's going to a gardening class. I don't care if it's sitting in school, going to a play, going on a group exercise, whatever it is. There's plenty of things. But you have to get social and you have to get out there and meet people. If you do not do that, or if you don't even do it online, you're not going to get results. That's just the way it is, okay? Women have never came and just knocked on my door and said, hello, play with me. It doesn't work that way, okay? You got to put your work in as a man. And men have to understand that this day and age, we have to hunt, all right? Women, it just doesn't happen unless you're an extremely good-looking guy or you got lots of money. Women aren't going to, or famous, women aren't going to come seeking you, okay? You're a man, you get to go hunt, you get to go out there, and you get to get curious, and you get to enjoy this whole process. There's a whole learning here that you haven't even tapped into, and that's learning to get out of being interesting, trying to be interesting, and being interested, okay? And put yourself in situations. So my advice to you is get yourself involved in something social, all right? I was talking to a guy last night, matter of fact, and he's a very, very cool guy. And we were talking, and obviously the conversation of women came up. And he was saying that, and he's not really a flexible guy, he was saying that he started teaching yoga. And he said, it's crazy how many women are in the class and how many women are all over him and stuff like that. And I started thinking to myself, And I said, well, what does it take? He goes, like 200 hours. And he's like, I still can't touch my toes. But he's in there and he's teaching, and he said, you know what, women are all around him. That's a good idea. Okay, going to classes in home ec. Another guy of mine just recently told me that his buddy, went and became a hairstylist. He said he was in class with like, I don't know, 80, 90 girls. And it was just like 4 other guys. You think those odds are pretty good? Absolutely. So start to seriously think about where you're going to put yourself. You have to think out of the box, man. Like, and I'm going to tap on this a little bit. When I was younger, all right, I was always interested in figuring out where the women were. That's why I was in choir. That's why I was in show choir. That's why I was, I like singing too, all right? But that's why I was, put it this way. When the mail reviews from the Chippendales and the mail review guys came to our town, I lived in a little town called Bonita, and guys would come and it'd be like 5 guys and they'd be stripping, and I was like, hey, let's go there. And my friends were like, I'm not going to go watch, the guys, it's gay, whatever, being all machivo back then. And I went by myself. And I walked in there and there was literally like 200 women, all right, 5 dancers and me, all right? I never left empty-handed. It's a good place to go. So think creatively, think smart, think like, use the brain up there, man, and look around and say, where do women go? How are you going to get involved? Simply walk up there and just say, hey, my name's so-and-so. How you doing? Just say, I'm new here. I've never been here before. Like, what can I expect? And just ask questions like, well, where are you from? What do you like to do? All right? Just start making more and more friends and leave it at that. Don't try to be like, oh, you want to go out right then and there? Just start making friends, all right? And being like, hey, we're going to go out and shoot photography. There's another good one. Learn to become a photographer. There's plenty of things you do. So,
Alex, we went all around the board. The theme for the day is become interested, rock and roll. So, Alex from Belarus, have a great day and a great life, and I'm counting on you, my friend. Step it up. All right, with that, Hypnotica out.
boom.